What's up, guys? Sean here from Srkcycles.com. We have a 2014 Yamaha V-Star 1300, and today I'm going to tell you that they finally fixed the issue with these Yamahas. First of all, these are great bikes. Although I am gonna say that I don't like these things. I never know which way that's supposed to go. I just flip it the one way, okay, it doesn't work, flip it the other way, okay, now it does work. Now when it's running, I can always flip it the other way and it turns it off. But it never made any sense to me. So they brought this bike in, I think, 2007. That sounds about right. Guys, let's start out with the words of wisdom. Psalms 105:1. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, call upon his name, make known his deeds among the people. Spread the word, people. Spread the word. Guys, this bike has 2,700 miles on it. I've ridden a lot of Yamahas, and I was definitely a big fan. I'm a fan of the 650. You guys see my videos. I'm also a fan of the 1100. You see my videos, but the 1100s, they kind of had a few issues, and when Yamaha eventually stopped making them, and they kind of phased out the Yamaha 1100 with the 1300. Although, in my opinion, I've never actually put this to the pavement, but in my opinion, I think that the 950 is more bike than the Yamaha 1100. The 950, mainly because the 1100 was, you know, designed in the late 90s, and the 950 was designed in the mid to late 2000s, like 2005. Who knows when it was actually designed? You know what I mean? But it's a fuel injected, it's more efficient motor, it's got more power. And this is a fuel injected bike. You hop on and go. This is not shaft drive, and the one issue that they were having, that they commonly had, and this is kind of a big deal when it comes to me buying 1100s, what are they called? V-Star 1100s. I actually have two of them right now that I'm not selling until I deal with it, but they both have starter clutch problems, and it's kind of a big issue. It's like a $1,100 fix. So I want you guys to keep an eye on that stuff. And normally, if I'm selling it, it's either they didn't have the problem, or it's already been fixed. So this does not have that starter clutch issue. And also, people say that the I've heard stuff about it. I've never actually experienced it, which kind of makes me think that it's not that big of a deal. Maybe not in the side of the country. But people are having drive shaft issues with the 1100. This is belt drive. You're not going to have those issues. This has ample, if ample is a word, I'm not sure if it is. This has tons of power. I mean, it really gets up and goes. It's a nice looking white Jeep. It's got little buttons you can select. Tripometer, odometer, the time. You take that goofy windshield off. I mean, this thing it's great power. You would never need any more power. You never need any more power than this. The girl putting a girl on the back, you're riding double. You can be cruising on the highway and down south with the highway speeds a little bit more. Just have no issues with it. Take that wing off. No, take that windshield off. You have a killer looking bike. It's very this is kind of very Road King-ish feel. You got the really wide bars. It's got these real wide, low beach bars, you know what I mean? I'm 6'2", I feel great riding a bike like this. I've sold good. This has been a first bike for a couple people, a couple of my customers, because it's a a big bike, but it's not very heavy. And I'm sure the weight is actually pretty heavy, but it doesn't feel heavy. Nothing about it feels heavy. And there's been some big guys who are like, I'm looking to start riding them in the 40s, and this bike just fit them very well. They're also really inexpensive. I mean, this is a 2014 with less than 3,000 miles. I think we're selling it for around $7,000 bucks, $7,400, somewhere around that. I mean, that's cheap. Brand new, I think this bike was like $14K. It definitely lets you know if you're in too high of a gear for it. I'm not really sure why that is. I suspect it might be like the belt drive system. You just kind of like chirps a little bit like that. Just kind of chirps a little bit. You definitely know it. It's like, yeah, I wish I was in a little lower gear. And then you're like, yeah, I'll just give it some power and you'll be all right. I'll just go a little bit faster, you'll be fine. And it's like, oh, okay. It does have the heel toe shifter. Rocking that heel toe. Guys, any guys who've never used a heel toe, or you can get this thing pretty low before you drag. Any guys who never used a heel toe, it's pretty simple. You get used to it, and you don't have to use it. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. It's not like, oh, I don't like heel toe, so I mean, I've been riding, I haven't been using the heel. I'm just using the toe, man. Just something extra. Just a little bit extra that you could use if you decided you wanted to use it. Alright guys, that wraps it up for the test drive of the 14 Yamaha V-Star 1300. I like this bike, and I think it is a big improvement on the 1100. Although I like the 1100 too. Alright guys, remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you going. We'll see you guys later. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe.